We've seen that it's possible to assign different layouts to a panel. In this video, we'll see that it's also possible to assign different layouts to the rows of a grid, so that their appearance varies depending on their content, or to change the design when tapping on a particular row. We'll start from a transaction model with one customer transaction, one country transaction, and one invoice transaction. The invoice transaction has no rows, because at this point, we only care about the invoice total and the details of the customer on the invoice. We've also created the invoice_data provider with the invoice data for each customer. The total invoiced to each customer is calculated as the sum of their invoices using the formula attribute customer total purchases. We want to see the list of customers with the customer's name, photo, country, and total invoice so far. In addition, for those customers whose invoice total exceeds $5,000, the total should be displayed in bold and in a different color, with an image over the photo to indicate that it's a VIP customer, while the rest of the customers should be displayed without this highlighting. This is all to say, we're going to vary the content and appearance of the information in each row, depending on the information displayed. Moreover, when we tap on any customer, we want to expand their information, also showing their email, phone, and address, but without the total purchases. We start by creating a View Customers Purchases panel and dragging a grid control with the attributes customer name, customer photo, and country name. We also create a customer total purchases txt variable of varchar 40 type, and we add it to the grid. We move the attributes to achieve the layout we had planned, with the photo on the left and the rest of the data on the right. We add a column in the middle as a separator. To the attributes on the right, we set horizontal alignment to left and vertical alignment to middle. Now we distribute the column spacing by setting the column style property in the table grid1 table with the values 100 dips, 20 dips, and 100%. As for the customer photo attribute, we set its row span property to the value 2, so that it takes 2 rows high. We also assign the image round class that we had previously defined in the design system created. And in the customer name attribute, we set the class property to the attribute bold class. In the Events tab, we select the load event and assign the variable customer total purchases txt with the text total purchases $, and concatenate it to the customer total purchases attribute, converted to string and without spaces. We open the main menu and drag the View Customers Purchases panel to the Items node. Next, in the action that was created, we assign the Customer's Purchases image to the Image property. We run Android Studio and open the emulator that we had created. And we press F5. We tap on the View Customers Purchases icon and see the list of customers with their personal data and invoiced amounts just as we expected. Now we're going to meet the first requirement, which implied that customers who exceeded $5,000 should be highlighted with a different design than customers who had not reached that amount. To have each row's design change according to what we need, we must create a new layout for the grid. If we click on the little green arrow at the top right of the grid, a menu opens indicating that the default layout selected is Layout 1, and that we can rename it or create a new layout. Let's select Add New Item Layout and name it VIP Customer. The name appears in the upper right corner and the new layout is initialized with the design of the default layout, but we can make the changes we want and both layouts will be completely independent. To place the VIP stamp on the photo, we need a canvas control. So we start by removing all the controls from the grid. We drag a canvas control to the grid, and then we drag a table to the canvas, where we put back the attributes with the design we had. In the table, we're going to adjust the column style values by setting the photo to 130 dips, the separator column to 5 dips, and the third column, the data column, to 100%. The absolute position properties are left by default, so the Z order will be set to 0. And this grid will be in the bottom layer of the layout. We drag an image below the table and associate it with the VIP customer image, an image with transparent background, which we had in the KB. In the absolute position section properties, we set top to 40 dips, left to 20 dips, bottom and right to 100%, and width and height to 100 dips, and Z order to 1 so that the VIP stamp is on the customer's photo. In the events section, we add the following code so that if the customer's total purchases exceeds $5,000, we assign the VIP customer layout to the grid, and otherwise we assign layout 1. We'll also take advantage of the logical branching to assign a class to a control at runtime, so that the format of the total purchases also depends on whether the total purchases exceed the requirement for the VIP customer or not. First, we open the GX Mobile Course DSO Design System object, and we create an attribute Total Purchases VIP class that inherits from attribute bold. And we define a font size of 16 pixels and the color red. We save. Now we return to the panel events, and where the customer is VIP, we write the customer total purchases txt variable, period, class, and assign the attribute total purchases VIP class using style class. In the else, we assign the attribute class. In this way, the total purchases will be highlighted in red only for VIP customers. We press F5. We tap on the View Customers Invoices icon and see that some customers have the VIP customer stamp and others don't. We check that the customers who have the stamp are those whose purchases exceed $5,000 in total, like we wanted, and that the total for these customers is highlighted in red. For example, Peter Elroy reached $6,200 and is VIP, and if we go further down, we see that Roji and Lee are also VIP customers. For the other customers who didn't reach this total, this data is not highlighted, meaning that based on a condition, we were able to have some rows formatted differently than others, and this formatting was changed at runtime depending on the data. Now we'll meet the last requirement, so that when we tap on a customer, their extended information is shown. When we tap on a row, we want the layout of the customer's data to change, and to also show the customer's name and country, email, phone and address, but without showing the total invoices. For this, we have to create a new layout for the grid based on layout 1, which is the default layout. So first we select this layout, and then click on the green arrow, select Create New Layout, and name it Customer More Info. We delete the Customer Total Purchases attribute and add the attributes Customer Email, Customer Phone, and Customer Address. We align all the fields with horizontal justification to the left and with center vertical alignment. We adjust the panel layout. In Customer Address, we set call span to 3, and we save. To have this layout used when we tap on a row, we go to the Grid Properties, and in the Default Select Item Layout property, we select the Customer More Info layout, and we press F5 again. We open View Customer Purchases, and now we tap on the first customer. And we see that its layout has changed, showing all the customer's personal data. If we tap again, we return to the default layout. We also try the same on a VIP customer, and see that the complete customer data is also shown. In this video, we saw how to assign different layouts to a grid at design time and at runtime, achieving a richer user interface. In the following videos, we'll continue working with other screen controls that provide functionality and design to our application.